Oh my gosh, here we are once again. So excited to be here with you, Zoe, and to be exploring. I mean, the times we're living in, we could have probably been saying this for decades now. Everything's been speeding up, everything's been slowing down, speeding up and slowing down at the same time. We also have so many planetary things going on. It is insane,
Mhm.
including if you get a chance and you're out early in the morning, be sure to go and look for Venus and Jupiter. They're getting closer and closer. I've been seeing, we have mountains in our east, and I've been seeing Jupiter right on the horizon and Venus up, but they're going to get like really close together with the star Sirius. So that's one of the magical stars of the ancient alchemists, and this is the only time in at least 200 years. I could research further, but that's as far as I've gotten, to see Jupiter and Venus conjunct at this close of a relationship within half a degree of Sirius.
When is that
And
happening?
so you'll be able to see Jupiter and Venus up here. Sirius is lower because it's not on the ecliptic, it's further down. So it depends on your latitude if you'll actually get to see Sirius.
Ah,
But for some latitudes, like where I am, I'm at 32 degrees north latitude. You're probably 40 something degrees
okay.
north latitude. You
Okay.
might not get to see Sirius on that day, but you know that Jupiter and Venus are aligned with Sirius. So that's
Wow.
some high magic. That's on August 11th when they're exact, but really the week or so before and after, you're going to see them pretty close together.
Okay.
And they're already starting to come into range of each other. So
Okay.
that's just something to be aware of.
Mhm.
And Venus being about the divine feminine, Jupiter being about expansion of consciousness and possibilities, and the two of them coming together with the star Sirius is so just magical and amazing. And I'll put some links to videos I've done on longer topic on this in the show notes. But what we're also coming up on is the cross quarter. That's exact depending on your time zone, either really late on August 6th or really early on August 7th, when the sun reaches 15 degrees of Leo. That's the halfway point between zero Cancer and zero Libra, the solstice point and the equinox point, the exact halfway point between those two. So it's that between point. And many ancient cultures, the Celtic people for sure, and there were others I'm also somewhat aware of that use the cross quarter as the beginning of the season. So instead of, so they would say this August cross quarter would be the beginning of fall. And then by the equinox, it would be mid-fall. And same with like November, the cross quarter in November is the beginning of winter. And then by the December solstice, it's mid-winter. And that's why and then same with the June solstice, it's midsummer because it starts with the May cross quarter or the Beltane cross quarter, so that they would start summer there. So that was how they worked with it. But not everybody has the same experience on the planet in terms of what they're experiencing as seasons. So not every culture does that. Like if you live close to the equator, it's like the same season all year round.
Mm.
So you'd have different ways of celebrating timing and like sacred time. We could talk about it. So before Zoe and I jumped on together, we were talking about sacred time or the difference between our linear calendar time and how we experience how we've been fixated in a linear way to experience time at this time in our passage through time. But many ancient cultures, they saw it more cyclically. They saw the cycles of the different seasons and the moon phases, and all of that was like a cyclical experience of time, or another way you could say it is sacred time. So we're coming into this cross quarter and it'll for sure on August 7th for pretty much everybody around the planet. Um, but the thing about and then we have the 8-8 Lionsgate, or I call it the 8-8 Infinity Time Gate. And I'll put a link to a video I did on that explaining why, but I'm going to do a little short explanation here. And that is that our calendar that was instituted in the 1500s, I want to say like the late 1500s by Pope Gregory, he decided to take the Julian calendar, and the days were not lining up with the seasons anymore. So he was having it redone. And they were accounting for a leap year, but they didn't account for the fact that it's 365 and a quarter days, but not quite a quarter days. So you have to like not do a leap year every 100 years or so.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just gets all messed up. So,
Okay.
the 1,000 years had gone by and it was messed up, and they had to take 10 days at a time
Wow.
and to implement this calendar. And it took a long time for it to catch on around the world. A lot of um, countries refused. They were just like, nope. And this is why we have April Fools, because people were still celebrating the new year around the equinox. And so they called them fools because now the new year was January 1st and they were trying to shame people into adopting this calendar.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah. So we've been messed with. We could say we've been messed with.
Yeah.
And our opportunity is to really think about, how does this work for us now? And yes, this linear calendar and a clock time, calendar time and clock time are helpful. I was telling Zoe, it's like you and I can talk because we know what day and what time, and she's in, a different time zone than I am, but we can figure that out, and so we can make that happen. So it has its advantages, but we don't want to get too lost in that. We want to make sure that we're open to celebrating the more cyclical time. Now, the other thing that happens right after the cross quarter is um, what's called the 8-8 Lionsgate. Now, the sun is in Leo, but it's not in the constellation of the lion. And that's the, so, and 8-8 is and August and July and August were done by Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. They named that they wanted months in the summer. They wanted them to be long. That's why we have 31 days in July and 31 days in August, because they wanted their months to be longer. And so there's a lot of ego involved in that. It's
Mm,
like, oh, okay, right.
mm.
It might have been different. I don't know how the Julian calendar was, but September was supposed to be the seventh month. October was supposed to be the eighth month. It's like they just inserted themselves and didn't rename those months to represent the fact that they're now the ninth month and the 10th month and the 11th.
They just stuck themselves in there.
They did. They did. They just stuck
Okay.
them like a big ego thing. Anyway, and the thing that this calendar has done is fixated our awareness in linear time and
Mhm.
the material world.
Mhm.
And so we have to make a really strong conscious choice to not be stuck in that
Mhm.
and to go beyond that and to see it beyond that. So the sun doesn't actually enter the lion until like August 10 or 11. And so August 8th, it's not even in the lion, which I find fascinating. So, but eight is the symbol for infinity. So we could call it, I like to call it the infinity time gate. And we can work with the number magic of 8-8. Of course, that's fun to work with.
Yeah.
But just that we don't always know what it is, and we need to question, like, okay, is this really alive and aligned for me? Um, and if it's not, then what would be alive and aligned for me? So I think this is where I turn it over to you, Zoe.
Yeah. I did have a question though, because with the 8-8, isn't it over a number of days? Is 8-8 the first day and then it goes for a number of days?
There's 8-8, 8-17 is also an 8-8, and
Uh-huh.
8-26 is also an 8-8 day in the month of August. So sometimes people will use those other 2 days that aren't really 8-8, but they add up to an 8
Yeah.
to celebrate the 8-8. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and again, if it's something that really is alive and aligned for you, then go for it. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever we focus our attention on becomes our reality. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So I thought that it would be good, since we're having this conversation about calendars, to really look at how we can realign to our divine truth, our divine essence outside of linear time, outside of these calendars, since so much, all of it was made long before any of us were born. And there are all these things that led to the creation of the way we look at time now. So, yeah, so I wanted to do a reading on that. Like, how can we re-remember, re-reclaim, again, using this energy of the Mercury retrograde, right? How can we reimagine our relationship to our own timeline? And then I also am going to do a reading on the Venus and Jupiter on August 11th too, like how to
Yeah,
cap.
and that's the day Mercury goes direct. So there's like three big things, or the big things that are happening that day. Venus
Yeah.
is Sirius, and then Mercury goes direct. So
Yeah, I really want to do a reading on that, especially with it being Leo season. Like, how can we capitalize or tap into that energy? But first, but first, so starting with this What We've Forgotten deck by my friend Amy Miranda, we'll just start to see like what have we forgotten this relationship with linear time. What has our agreement with that caused us to forget? Oh my gosh, that we have our own cycles.
ah, oh, how perfect. I mean, that is so perfect.
Wow. So, 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 so perfect. And then we have transformation here. So what we've forgotten is that we don't like the word control, but we can realign again two cycles that are true for us, that we don't have to attach ourselves to linear time all of the time. Every time I say time, take a shot. We can recreate, reconnect, re-remember cycles of transformation that work for us. So if we were going to do some sort of, I don't know, ritual to achieve some balance here with the waxing gibbous, which will be appearing here pretty soon, in a couple of days. Um, yeah, we love that. We love that. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here. And with this particular deck, it is associated with routine, which makes sense because pentacles represent Earth. They are connected to the planet Saturn. And we know that Saturn is attached to time and karma and all of those good things. And so for me, I
So
think,
Saturn actually is the Roman version of Chronos,
mhm,
Chronos being about chronological time, and so Saturn being about chronological time. But I love that the cycles that you pulled the card on the cycles, because we have personal cycles that we go through at different times in our life, and also sometimes based on the age we are, but sometimes just based on, what's going on in our natal chart, so to speak. I have
mhm,
quite a few things going on right now, so I'm very aware of that. And so we have our personal cycles, we have our generational cycles, and then we have the collective cycles of humanity happening at the same
right.
time. So, time, it's all about time.
It's all about time. And so, how do we create a routine that takes into account our personal cycles and how we interact with all of the other cycles that Cayelin was talking about? So, you're going to have to replay this video and maybe take some notes, right? But the journal prompt here really is, how do I recreate a routine that works for me at this particular cycle in my life, okay? That is going to help me transform. And look what we have here. Hello, Jupiter return, that will actually benefit me and mine.
I love that. And yeah, it just so happens that the United States, total mess that it's in, is also in a Jupiter return based
Mhm,
on its natal birth chart. So we could hope that ultimately it will turn out good in the end, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like that for everybody right now. But we could hope for that.
mhm. I like that. And then as far as the Venus Jupiter conjunction, is it a conjunction?
Yes, it's a
Okay,
conjunction.
conjunction. Okay, great.
It's at 14 Cancer.
Okay.
Sirius is at 14 Cancer and 25 minutes. So it's within a half a degree of being exactly precisely aligned with Sirius. And
Okay.
the US has like four planets in Cancer. Venus and Mercury and Jupiter and the Sun are all in Cancer. So this is big.
So this is big. So then, okay, so then what is the energy, particularly for those in the States, you know, that we could meditate on leading up to August 11th and on August 11th, especially since Mercury is going direct. So like how can we hop on that Mercury retrograde energy and, you know, turn some things around?
Like go deeper, take that deeper dive so that we know what it is that we want to aim for when Mercury goes direct.
So the first message we have is prosperity lies ahead. So
Ooh,
keeping our thoughts high, keeping our thoughts on prosperity. So perhaps this is a nice ritual. Maybe get a candle. Maybe this is new moon in Taurus, so maybe carve a moon symbol into your candle. Maybe the glyph for Taurus um, and maybe burn it, for a couple of days leading up to August 11th and just maybe keep affirming prosperity lies ahead. But this one, I love this one even better. Nothing is set in stone.
yeah.
Prosperity lies ahead. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. So these, I think, are just very powerful affirmations, spells, incantations to take into that August 11th portal.
Well, and if you think about Jupiter is all about possibilities.
Absolutely.
And if we're stuck in a way of seeing, being, thinking,
Yeah.
whatever, if we're stuck in a certain way, then we're not open to possibilities. Oh, I
Yeah.
just love it so much.
I
So
love it too.
how do we connect to what's possible beyond anything we've maybe even imagined?
Yeah, and I think it somehow this is connected to that linear time that following that regimented clock has also regimented our thinking. And so perhaps stepping out of the linear, stepping more into the circular energies of, the time before time that many of our ancestors existed in, and understanding that nothing is set in stone. Prosperity lies ahead. No matter what things look like, nothing is set in stone. We have our mind power, we have our physical power, nothing is set in stone.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah, I
good.
like
So
it too. I like it.
yeah. So do you feel complete?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like that's it.
So good. I
Yeah.
love it. I hope people find this really helpful. Be sure to check out the show notes because there'll be links to videos on the 8-8 infinity time gate, the cross quarter, the Jupiter Venus conjunction, some if you want to take the deeper dive. If not, just tune in and feel into what is coming through for you and then honor that in some way. I love what you were suggesting around ceremony too,
Mhm.
because when we honor that and we can put it into form, start beginning to put it into form through ceremonial intentions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
high magic, high
This is
magic.
even, I mean, putting it on a mirror, putting it on a refrigerator, somewhere you're going to see it every day. Yeah. I mean, this could just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'll just also add, which is something I haven't said, but I think I said it in a different video, is Sirius
Mm.
is the brightest star in our night sky. So, and it comes up in August, but at different days in August. Like where I am, it's usually early August, and where, people are in higher latitudes, it could be mid to late August, um, to see it rising before the sun. But, and that would be the new year for the Egyptian people. And they
Mhm.
would know that would be the signaling of the flooding of the Nile, which brought life to their where they were, I guess I want to say, to the land where they were.
Mhm.
And uh, so they saw Sirius as the life giver. We have Jupiter and Venus are two brightest objects in the night sky together. You'll see how much brighter Venus is than Jupiter, because Jupiter seems really bright till it's sitting next to Venus. Anyway, and they're considered benefic planets, I mean, if your Jupiter expands, and so if you're in a place of limitation, that can get expanded, so it's not always good.
That's right.
But if you're opening to possibilities, those that can get expanded.
Yeah.
It's just so good of what's
It's so
happening.
good.
That's when the ancient alchemists would do their biggest ceremonies to activate the star energy that Jupiter and Sirius happen to be aligned with. And as I said earlier, it's been at least 200 years since we've had this close of an alignment.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so wait, so Venus, Jupiter, and Sirius, are they all aligning that day?
yeah. But as I said, Sirius is way below them. So they're going to be in the morning
Okay.
time. You'll see them for sure. You
Okay.
might not see Sirius before the sun. uh,
Okay.
depending on your latitude. And I suspect where you are, you probably won't,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I might get to.
Okay.
It also depends on your horizon line. And I do have mountains in my east horizon line, so I might not get to see it either.
Hmm.
But if you can see Jupiter and Venus, know that Sirius is right there below
Okay.
them, and that we can tune into that energy. And this is the time to create the intentions, the magic, the elixirs, the potions, the amulets, the whatever you want to do
Yeah.
to energize this energy.
So,
So,
so here's what I would say. So I'm going to add some things here, given all of that, because it's also on a Monday, which is Moon, which is Cancer. So wow, what a day.
I
So what I will probably do is I will probably start ritual on Thursday, Jupiter Day, and Friday, Venus Day. I'll probably take off Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday complete the ritual. So if I'm doing candle work, I'll let them burn all the way through.
yeah,
Yeah, I would start my
I love
ritual
it.
on Thursday. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so the more of us that are engaging this energy with powerful positive intentions from
Hmm.
the heart, from the place of love, the
Hmm.
more impact it's going to have on the planetary energies
Yeah,
that are with us at this time. So love that you shared that.
yeah.
So good.
And is the ninth a full moon?
Yeah, yeah.
This is too
Aquarius.
powerful for me. I can't take it.
It's the
So
Aquarius full moon. So yeah. So it'll that night on the 11th, it'll be rising much later and it'll be kind of more like the gibbous moon. But um yeah, the ninth, the Aquarius moon. And the Aquarius moon is opposite Pluto, which means transformation is so possible. So possible.
full moons
Yeah.
are all about release. So what's holding us? What do we need to release so that we understand that prosperity lies ahead? That's our ritual, folks.
There you go. I
Our
love it.
ritual. That's
I
our
love
ritual.
it. So,
That's our
so good.
ritual. Yeah, yeah. I got
All
it. I
right.
know what I'm doing.
Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, Zoe. I always
Yeah.
love it when we pull our, insights together.
Yeah.
And the cards are just so perfect. So
So good.
thank you. So until we meet again, bye
We meet
everyone.
again. Bye.